Coach Tomlin wanted his team to ramp up their physicality in Week 5, and the Pittsburgh Steelers defense absolutely delivered. They held the Ravens to just one touchdown. However, for the Steelers offense, they struggled to find their rhythm. It wasn't until late in the fourth until George Pickens found the end zone, and the Steelers squeezed by the Ravens 17-10. The Pittsburgh Steelers are seemingly a fourth quarter team. We've seen them come back in game-like situations like this all year long, but today their luck ran out against the Cleveland Browns. Christmas magic filled the air at Acrisure Stadium. It was a story right out of the holiday special as Mason Rudolph stepped in as quarterback and saved the day. The black and gold secured a large lead in the first half of the game and this time kept the momentum going. As of Wednesday, Kenny Pickett remains as a limited participant. He continues to take reps at practice, but it's still uncertain if he'll be available to take the field against the Seahawks. Now, I asked Kenny Pickett if he learned anything while being forced to watch from the sidelines this past week, and he simply said no. Having the chance to step back and be on the sidelines and see the game from a different perspective, has it allowed you to see anything different, learn anything, and, take some lessons from it?
No.
If you can't score touchdowns, you won't win games. The Pittsburgh Steelers continued to struggle on offense on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Steelers were unable to score in the first half of the game, and on top of it, quarterback Kenny Pickett went down with a rib injury and never returned to the game. It was the final practice for the Pittsburgh Steelers before they head into their first preseason matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Head coach Mike Tomlin says whoever is healthy will take the field on Friday. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Friday night light practice is a chance to step away from St. Vincent and switch up their environment. They're taking the field here, and not only is this an opportunity for them to showcase what they've been working on, but the fans, they're having a blast watching their favorite players.
Beyond honored. It's fun to be out here.
They switch offensive coordinators. That's something that they need to overcome and regroup from. They come back, they do well, but then, Kenny gets hurt. That's another boundary in front that they're trying to overcome. Regroup. I feel like that's what they're always trying to do. We need to get back in the lab, regroup. But where is the regroup happening? Because we're not seeing changes. And I think that's a frustrating thing for the players, for the coaches. But they're a former Erie Otters duo. Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch and legendary player Connor McDavid have reunited, and it's clearly working for them. The Edmonton Oilers dominated the Pittsburgh Penguins home ice on Sunday, beating the Pens for the second time this month.
The Otters reunion in Edmonton with Brownie and Chris and Foes as well. A lot of Otter ties here in Edmonton.
Erie's down in this series 2-1. They're going to have to battle back to tie things up this evening, where they could be put in a difficult situation of having to win a few on the road if they want to stay alive in the postseason. We'll look back into Tuesday's game. The Otters came out quick, jump-started the scoring with a 3-0 lead. Things were looking good, but then the Rangers came back, battled in the second half of the game, tied it up, went into overtime, getting that 4-3 victory. Now, one thing that has been consistent for the Otters in the postseason has been forward Sam Alfano. Alfano has scored 4 goals in the last 3 games of the playoffs. He's been a powerhouse. Coach, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. We were talking about the determining factor in this play. You've seen them many times before. How important is that second period for you guys?
Second period's huge. I mean, let's face it, it's all really important at this time of year.
I want to talk a little bit about our goaltending situation because it's been a little all over the place this season.
Unique.
Yes, absolutely. But it's been interesting to follow along the storyline. So obviously Ben Gaudreau kind of came out in January, got injured, hasn't really returned to the ice or anything since. So we've seen a rotation of players in and out of there. Obviously Frazier had some success. Excitement is building here at Erie Insurance Arena. You can hear the crowds yelling as the teams are taking the ice. This game is starting at 7 o'clock. Game 3 of the OHL playoffs here in Erie. Now Ben Gaudreau returning to the ice, starting the net for the Otters. It's going to be a great game this evening. We'll keep you updated, but for now, reporting here at Erie Insurance. An exciting international sports opportunity is coming to Erie County this weekend. If you're a hockey fan, then you're not going to want to miss this. The Mercyhurst University ACHA Division I men's ice hockey team is set to host Team Israel in a showcase. Baseball is back in the Steel City. The Pittsburgh Pirates are off to a phenomenal start to their season, sliding in with a 6-1 record as they host the Baltimore Orioles in their home opener. This victory victory tonight is even sweeter for those Erie returners. A monumental day for not only the organization but the whole city of Erie as the Seawolves took down the Rumble Ponies tonight. Just 2 games this series, shutting them out this evening 10-0. It's definitely been in the making. We've seen these guys develop all season long, and although this roster has changed a lot since that first game, there's never been a lack of chemistry in the dugout for the Wolves. The Erie Seawolves were looking for consistency, and they got it. Between a dominant arm from Ty Madden on the mound, backed by a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 7th from Chris Myers, the Seawolves defeat Richmond 7-3 and are crowned your Southwest Division champs. It's a great day to be a Golden Knight. Both the Gannon men and women's basketball team are NCAA Division II Atlantic Region champions. A fiery crowd filled the stands here at Haggerty Family Event Center on Tuesday as both programs punched their ticket to the Elite Eight. A fast-paced, aggressive first quarter made it difficult for Gannon to slow down West Virginia State. They fell in trouble right off the bat, going down 23-16 in the first. But Gannon.
We'll talk a little bit about some of those players and recognize some of the seniors. One specifically, Sam Perosco, made a huge impact as, you know, a great, outstanding player for you guys, but a leader off the court as well, and just guiding some of those younger players as she was a redshirt senior. So can you talk a little about her? I know she racked up a lot of accolades this year, some great national awards.
Well, Sam, as I've said, and I would love to say this, is that
it came down to the final quarter of the game that separated a good team from a great team. One basket was enough momentum to spark an offensive stretch for Iroquois, and ultimately what nailed them down a seat in the District 10 championship game.
I'm Allie Benham, and I'm a woman in sports. I was definitely inspired by both my parents. They were college athletes, and my mom is the biggest one. She taught me how to shoot, and their team was good in college, and it's just encouraging seeing like how women in sports is growing.
What does it mean to maybe be a role model for younger athletes?
We do all kinds of summer camps down at Gannon, and we have every age range you could possibly think of. So when we're at games and we see the little girls that come from camp and they're wearing their camp shirt and they're so excited to be there and happy to be involved, it's really heartwarming, and to know that you have that impact and can have that impact even on my younger teammates, just to show them that they can do it too, is just one of my favorite things about it.
Athletes, coaches, administration, the list goes on. For generations, women have fearlessly broken down barriers in the sports industry. We continue to relentlessly open the door to new opportunities and inspire others.
I am Sarah Boucher, and I am a woman in sports. So I grew up playing boys hockey for most of my life until I was a young teenager, but now there's so many opportunities for young girls to be able to play with girls and to be able to make a lot of friends. Looking up to people, I always wanted to play in the NHL and things like that. So now that there's a lot of opportunities for women to play pro hockey and continue playing hockey after college, it's really exciting and not something that I expected would be an opportunity for me when I was a kid.
Where does your motivation come from? Who do you look up to?
Big one for me growing up was Haley Kaiser. She's retired now, but that was a big one for me growing up. And I think just an all-around inspiring woman athlete is Serena Williams. I think she's done a lot of amazing things and is a big inspiration for a lot of people.
National Girls and Women in Sports Day is a day dedicated to celebrating diversity and equality in the sports industry, and the city of Erie is filled with countless women who help make the game better. I'm Ashley Kaiser. I'm a woman in sports, reporting for Fox 66 Sports.
With the 2024 NFL Draft just days away, I sat down with a local standout prospect that's been making headlines as a Division II powerhouse.
He hails from Slippery Rock University. He's a former Conneaut Eagle and stands 6'4", 220 pounds. Wide receiver Kyle Sheets has been working tirelessly in hope to take his skills to the next level. Sheets declared for the 2024 NFL Draft back in December. I asked him, how did it all get started?
I mean, my dad introduced me to it when I was young. He would show me his high school tapes, and, you know, he'd put it in the VHS, and we'd kind of sit there and watch what he did. And, you know, there wasn't a second I didn't have a football in my hand. My dad put me in a league in 2nd grade, so from an early age I was out there playing football, and it was something I fell in love with pretty quick.
In his final season of college ball, Sheets helped lead Slippery Rock to a 12-2 record, where they also advanced to the NCAA Division II quarterfinals. He had 76 receptions for 1,186 yards with 17 touchdowns.
It was the most fun I had playing football my entire life so far. So, I mean, just the coaching staff and the players we had, the relationship in the locker room, you could see it transition out to the field and kind of where it took us.
Sheets was named first-team All-American by the American Football Coaches Association, while also racking up 2023 first-team All-Region and two-time All-PSAC West honors. Sheets has spent the last few months upping his training and attending showcases. In March, he participated in a pro day at Temple University and made quite the impression. He ranked number 14 on CBS Sports' top 25 small college prospects list, but he instead praises the people around him for his success.
Yeah, it was definitely a credit to my parents and teammates more than myself. I mean, I wouldn't be where I was without them and the impact they put on me.